Alright, bro. Today I'm gonna start reading from the book from page 45. Damn, right he is, said Carson. He don't give nobody else a chance to win. He stopped and sniffed the air and still sniffing. Looked down at the old dog. God almighty, that dog stinks. Get him out of here, Candy. I don't know nothing that stinks as bad as an old dog. You gotta get him out. You gotta get him out. Candy rode to the edge of his bunk. He reached over and patted the ancient dog, and he apologized. I've been around him so much I never noticed how he stinks. Well, I can't stand him in here, said Carson. That stink hangs around even after he's gone. He walked over with his heavy-legged stride and looked down at the dog. Got no teeth, he said. He's all stiff with rheumatism. He ain't no good to you, Candy, and he ain't no good to himself. Why don't you shoot him, Candy? The old man squirmed uncomfortably. Well, hell, I had him so long. Had him since he was a pup. I herded a sheep with him, he said proudly. You wouldn't think it to look at him now, but he was the best damn sheepdog I ever seen. What the hell is this crap? George said, I seen a guy in Reed that had an Iredale could herd sheep. Learned it from the other dogs. Carson was not to be put off. Look, Andy, this old dog just suffers himself all the time. If you was to take him out and shoot him right in the back of the head, he leaned over and pointed right there. Why did never know what hit him? Candy looked about unhappily. No, he said softly. No, I couldn't do that. I hadn't too long. He don't have no fun, Carson insisted. And he stinks to beat hell. Tell you what, I'll shoot him for you. Then it won't be you that does it. Candy threw his legs off his bunk. He scratched the white stubble whiskers on his cheek nervously. I'm so used to him, he said softly. I'm from a pub. Well, you ain't being kind to him, keeping him alive, said Carson. Look, Slim's bitch got a litter right now. I bet Slim would give you one of them pups to raise up. Wouldn't you, Slim? The Skinner had been studying the old dog with his calm eyes. Yeah, he said. You can have a pup if you want to. He seemed to shake himself free for a speech. Carl's right, Candy. That dog ain't no good to himself. I wish somebody shoot me if I got old and a cripple. Candy looked helplessly at him, for Slim's opinions were law. Maybe it hurt him. He suggested, I don't mind taking care of him, Carson said. The way I'd shoot him, he wouldn't feel nothing. I'd put the gun right there. He pointed with his toe, right back of the head. Right back of the head. He wouldn't even quiver. Candy looked for help from face to face. It was quite dark outside by now. A young laboring man came in. His sloping shoulders were bent forward and he walked heavily on his heels. As as though he carried the invisible green bag. He went to his bunk and put his hat on his shelf. Then he picked up a Gump magazine from his shelf and brought it to the light over the table. "Did I show you this, Slim?" He asked. "Show me what?" The young man turned to the back of the magazine, put it down on the table and pointed with his finger. "Right there, read that." Slim bent over it. "Go on," said the young man. "Read it out loud." "Dear editor," Slim read slowly. "I read your mag for 6 years and I think it is the best on the market. I like stories by Peter Rand. I think he's the winging. Give us more like a dark writer. I don't write many letters. Just stop. I will tell you I think your mag is the best time's worth I never spent." Slim looked up questioningly. "What do you want me to read that for?" Whit said, "Go on, read the name at the bottom." Slim read, Yours for success, William Tanner." He glanced up at the wit again. "What do you want me to read that for?" Wit closed the magazine impressively. "Don't you remember Bill Tanner? Worked here about 3 miles ago?" Slim thought. "Little guy?" he asked. "Drove a cultivator." "That's him," Wit cried. That's the guy. You think he's the guy who wrote the letter?" I know it. Bill and me was in here one day. Bill had one of them books that just come. He was looking at it and he says, "I wrote a letter. Wonder if they put it in the book. But it wasn't there," Bill says. "Maybe they're saving it for later. And there's just what they done. There it is. Guess you're right," said Slim. "Got it right in the book." George held out his hand for a magazine. Let's look at it." Whit found the place again, but he did not surrender his hold on it. He pointed out the letter with his forefinger, and then he went to the box shelf and laid the magazine carefully in. "I wonder if Bill's in it," he said. Bill and one worked in the patch of field peas, run cultivators. Both of us. Bill was a hell of a nice fellow. During the conversation, Carlson had refused to be drawn in. He continued to look down at the old dog. Candy watched him uneasily. At last Carlson said, "If you want me to, I'll put the old devil out in his misery right now and get it over with. Ain't nothing left for him. Can't eat, can't see, can't even walk without hurting." Candy said hopefully, "You ain't got no gun." The hell I ain't got a lugger. I won't hurt him none at all. Candy said, "Maybe tomorrow. Let's wait till tomorrow." "I don't see no reason for it," said Carlson. He went to his bunk, pulled his bag from underneath it, and took out the lugger pistol. "Let's get it over with," he said. "We can't sleep with them stinking around in here." He put a pistol in his hip pocket. Candy looked a long time at Slim to try to find out some reversal, and Slim gave him none. At last Candy said softly and hopelessly, "All right, take him." He did not look down at the dog at all. He lay back on his bunk and crossed his arms behind his head and stared at the ceiling. From his pocket, Carson looked a little leather thong. He stooped over and tied it around the old dog's neck. All the men except Candy watched them. Come on, boy, come on. Come on, boy, come on, boy. Come, boy, come on, boy, he said gently, and he said apologetically to Candy. He won't even feel it. Candy did not move nor answer him. He twitched his thumb. Come on, boy. The old dog got slowly and stiffly to his feet and followed gently pulling leash. Slim said, Carson. Slim said, Carson, yeah? You know what to do? What do you mean, Slim? Take a shovel, said Slim shortly. Oh, sure, I get you. He led the dog out into the darkness. George followed to the door and shut the door and set the latch gently in his place. Candy lay raggedly on his bed, staring at the ceiling. Slim said loudly, One of my lead mouse got a bad hoof. Got to get some tar on it. His voice trailed off. It was a silence outside. Carlson's footsteps died away. The silence came into the room, and the silence lasted. George chuckled. I bet Lenny's right out there in the barn with his pup. He won't want no coming here no more now he got a pup. Slim said, Candy, you can have any of them pups you want. Candy did no answer. The silence fell on the room again. It came out of night and invaded the room. George said, Anybody like to play a little elker? I'll play out a few with you, said White. They took places opposite each other at the table under the light, but George did not shuffle the cards. He rippled the edge of the deck nervously, and the little snapping noise drew the eyes of all the men in the room, so that he stopped doing it. The silence fell on the room again. A minute passed. Another minute. Candy lay still, staring at the ceiling. Slim gazed at him for a moment and then looked down at his hands. He subdued one hand with the other and held it down. There came a little gnawing sound from under the floor, and all the men looked down toward it gratefully. Only Candy continued to stare at the ceiling. Sounds like there was a rat under there, said George. We ought to get a trap down there. Wit broke up. What the hell's taking him so long? Out some cards, why don't you? We ain't going to get no Elker played this way. George brought the cards together tightly and studied the backs of them. The silence was in the room again. A shot sounded in the distance. The man looked quickly at the old man. Every head turned toward him. For a moment he continued to stare at the ceiling. Then he rolled slowly over and faced the wall and lay silent. Alright, that's for today. Next time I'm continuing reading from page 50 and from George shuffled the cards noisily. Alright, that's it. So if you like the video, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.